Hey there. For those of you who don't know me, I am April. I'm the founder of the Love and Loss Project. And I want to talk to you a little bit today about one of the questions that was posted about how do you help your family members through their grief after you've lost your little baby. And so this is such an important question, right? Because it's one that I think we can all kind of trip over sometimes. And I really want to start by first offering this idea. I believe that when we go through the loss of our little one, this is a really important time in our lives to really stop and look at some of our go-to habits and some of our traditional or usual patterns and way of operating our relationships. Because for a lot of us, even though we're going through the worst nightmare imaginable, we still really have that feeling that we really need to be the one helping to carry other people through this. And while I completely get the good intention around that, I would encourage you first and foremost to really allow yourself to step back and say, is this really an old pattern of giving and doing and just jumping in and functioning here? Or why is it that I'm feeling the need to really be helping other people through this? Why am I wanting to take that weight onto my shoulders? Because I think of it like this. I think when we lose a little one, the devastation of that is like standing right beside a bomb as it absolutely explodes on us. And while definitely I am completely compassionate to the idea that some of that shrapnel has hit the other people around us, I believe that really it is us and our partners who are standing right there, taking the blast of that impact on full force. So I believe that in the same way that if that was what happened and you were in ICU trying to recover and heal and get treatment for your injuries, you would not be taking it upon yourself to try to hobble down the hospital hallway on your crutches with your IV and your broken bones to try to offer Jello and chicken soup to somebody who is in the next floor getting a few stitches on their thigh. And that's not to minimize the fact that our families are impacted, because they absolutely are. But I think we have to think of it in terms of proximity to impact. And I think it's lovely if you have family that are really expressing that this is a loss for them and are talking about their grief with you, because that certainly is such an incredible offering of connection and empathy and sensitivity to you in all of this. But I want to invite you to really challenge yourself to step out of that caregiver, caretaking, being the one to tend to other people's injuries role that maybe is kind of just a default pattern. Because that question of how do you take care of them without losing all of your energy is a very valid concern. Because when we go through this, the amount of energy that we have is really a finite resource. Because surviving the loss of your little one, it absolutely knocks you to the ground, and a simple day can feel like trying to climb Mount Everest. So you have to get extremely careful and conscious about where and what you put energy into. And I would argue that trying to guide other people through the grief journey is not your job description right now. Someone had posted this article that I really thought was fantastic. And it basically showed this diagram of these circles. And it said, here's how support works. In the closest center, right, in that heart nucleus, center of that circle, is the mother who has lost her baby, or the person who is going through the traumatic event in their lives. And it is their role to kind of lean out on the next circle next to them. That circle, which might be your best friend, your close family members, your sister who's really supportive, right? That next circle closest to you. That circle of your best friend and your sister and your cousin, they lean on the next outer circle to them. They're close supporters, the person who really has their back, that other family member who, their partner, who they are able to lean on and get support from. Because to have people leaning in on the nucleus, on you at the center of this grief and loss experience after losing your baby, it's too much weight. It is too much weight to have to carry. It is too much responsibility to have to bear. You are not responsible for how other people move through their experience of the loss of your baby. I would say that the only person that we have responsibility for in that is really working side by side with our partner, and if you have other children, and everyone else, to process their grief, to process their bad day, to process their hard stuff. When it's really about looking for support, needs to lean out on their other supports and resources. They cannot be leaning in on the grieving mother at the center of this heartbreak. So I hope that that's helpful for you. I think at the same time, there's also an opportunity here to really lead and invite the people around you to participate and join with you in your grief. And that's a different thing than you supporting them. That really becomes a state of mutual support and connection. So that might be things like inviting the people who are close to you in your surrounding circle to come and participate in a walk of remembrance with you. That might be something like giving little tokens of appreciation or a little thank you card to each one of the people who have had your back and have been there for you, as just a little reminder of that care and your appreciation and your shared experience of this. But note that that's not about the idea of trying to brighten their day or lighten their load. It really is a participation and a shared experience, and I'm connecting with you on this. I'm not carrying the weight of your hurt, the weight of your grief, the weight of your bad day. I'm walking beside you and sharing some of my experience and sharing my role as my little one's mother with you in this way, with these gestures. So the other main thing that I think that we can actually do, that most of us really struggle to do when it comes to the friends and family around us who want to share with us in our grief and who want to be there for us and who want to kind of be by our side, is to allow ourselves to receive. That is a really hard one for most of us. So I would challenge you to think about how many times when somebody says, "So how are you doing?" or "What do you need?" or "Is there anything I could do for you?" that you tend to just brush aside their offer to give you some care and support and comfort. Because I think that when we do that, I heard someone describing the other day this really great way of looking at this. And this is it's a different way of looking at it, but I think it still applies. When someone is offering you a bit of support and you brush that aside and say, "No, thanks, I'm good, I don't need anything," right? It's essentially like somebody passing you a wrapped gift and you chucking it on the floor and being like, "No, no thanks, I'm fine." So I believe that that is really one of the key ways that we can allow our friends and family to connect with us in our grief, and that we can actually offer them something appropriate with helping them with their grief, which is allowing ourselves to receive support from them. I think some of the tensions that often happen in relationships is in that place where friends and family are wanting to take care of you or wanting to offer you things, and they have this urge to kind of share with you in some of that grief, but they don't know quite how to do that, or they don't feel like there's a door open to be able to do that with you. So this is a really important thing that I think is actually a gift to the other people around you when you say yes to their offers of support. And that can be uncomfortable, especially for those of us who are really good in that caretaker role, who are really more comfortable giving to somebody else than we are receiving. But when we deny other people that opportunity to attend to us, we really are knocking that gift-wrapped package out of their hands and throwing it on the ground. So I believe that this act of receiving is the most appropriate way that you can actually help your friends and family to cope with their experience of losing this tiny member of your family in your circle. So I hope that's helpful for you. You may have also seen that I've posted that I'm doing a new video coming up. It's kind of like the one that we did previously where I invited people to answer the question of what do you wish that your friends and family better understood about going through the loss of your baby? And we created that video slideshow of people holding up their written answers to that question. And I would like to do one for healthcare providers. So I'm inviting everyone by next Saturday, so basically a week or so, to send in to me a photo of yourself. Keep it anonymous, so no identifying jewelry in the picture, no identifying faces, no identifying surroundings, so that you are able to maintain your anonymity in this. But answer the question, because I know that there are a lot of healthcare providers that would really like to be able to learn more about how to support you better. And I know that this is something that I've heard from a lot of women and couples that is sometimes an area that has been actually more traumatizing and more hurtful when they've not been able to be greeted with sensitivity or the level of care or understanding that they really need through all of this. So if you'd like to be a part of that, to answer the question, what do you wish that your healthcare provider better understood about going through the loss of your baby? What do you wish that your doctor knew to be able to help other people better through this? And take a picture of that. You can private message me here, or you can also send that to me via email at my site, lovelostproject.com. All right, I hope that's helpful for you. If you found this useful, then please type in one thing that stood out to you that you're taking out of this video today, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.